Hello everyone, let's get started. No plans today. My wife has been really nice to me recently. Sorry, no cinnamon. This is no financial advice. I have no financial interests and I do not have any sponsored links on my videos. However, if people donate me something via Tipbot or I receive some money via Coil, then I will donate that to a place which will be decided between me and my wife. Most likely it'll be a house with a lot of people with Down syndrome, at least the first donation, because that house we know already. I have been lucky enough. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because my Software, ich möchte auch so eine Tasse. Because my software got kind of reset. I really don't know if you can. Yes, you can hear me. Okay, super. Many thanks. And she also, what you may see over there, put a plant into my office and the carpet underneath my table, my desk, and my chair. And she bought me this nice cup. Kind of like a preparation of what's to come. Yeah, that's basically it. I really hope we will have a good discussion today. I honestly have nothing to say other than maybe I told you so, that Pact and even Cybos won't bring anything. I mean, at least in terms of price, today was Bit a bummer. All the money. When are we mooning? That's a good question, Six Jack. No one knows. No one knows. If I knew, trust me, I'd tell everyone. I'm just 100% confident it'll be this year. Do you foresee any scenario where the IMF or Federal Reserve will take possession of all the remaining escrowed XRP and also require ours? No way, Fatty McButterpants. No way. I explained that in another live stream why pre-allocation is a bullshit. It's a bullshit if we do pre-allocation percentage-wise. Let's say 5 banks would receive each 20% of the next escrow release for October. Because at a low price, okay, then we at least got rid of escrow, but it won't help those banks or institutions at all. At a high price, they would get so much money that it'll not be by no way a level playing field. However, if we say we, like those 5 institutions, can buy for, I don't know, 200 million XRP at $1, that would exactly match, right? So the escrow would be gone, but it also wouldn't help them a lot. However, if XRP were at $100, they would, or even higher, $1,000, they would get not even 1% of the escrow with the billion they paid altogether. So no, by no way. Do you think we will have regulations until the end of the year? I think so, but I don't think it's needed for RippleNet. Richard from Vienna is asking an interesting question. I have been checking my Tipbot account. Basically when I didn't continue talking about the donation stuff because from Raf I received, from Raf and I guess a handful of his friends which are investing together, I received quite a tip on Tipbot. They basically deposited directly into my Tipbot account 510 XRP with the request, because I'm telling so, that I will donate it to charity, to some really good thing. And because I was checking my Tipbot account, I have seen 2 interesting tips I have received about 0.000384 XRP, so 384 XRP twice. And then I went to that guy's Twitter page who sent, or that person's Twitter page who sent that tip, and I've seen he literally sent hundreds, if not thousands, of XRP Twitter community users the same amount. And I was then asking him if that particular value has a special meaning. And he answered all-time high. But I guess his meaning was more like $384 than 384 drops. I mean, That's not even possible in dollar cents, so few. Is Swift slow rolling Ripple at Cybos, or do you have seen any coverage? I haven't seen any coverage so far, but surely, Ripple is having, I think it's called a stand there at Cybos, so there will be many banks also talking to them. I'm pretty sure about that. Ripple has been doing that for the at least past 3 years. I think 3 years ago they even had a taxi service because Cybos and Swell was in this, I think it was in Toronto, I don't remember, in the same city at least, in the same week. So Ripple offered taxi service for people wanting to get from Cybos to Swell. Yes, David, I'm still 100% confident. Yes, most people are fed up. Tiki, well, that's something we don't really know. Tiki's asking if by now still no one is using XRP. I am, from some information in some interviews we have seen from, I think it was called Euro Exim Bank, I'm pretty sure they will be using, but most likely for their purposes, XRP also needs a higher price. I'm pretty sure about that. Now, if MoneyGram is using XRP already, we have literally no clue, because it won't have an effect on price. David Schwartz stated that all the time. Low value, high volume is possible at current price. What then can they be waiting for, David C? I don't know. That, well, basically your second question, the synchronizing countries to happen at the same time, I think it has rather something to do with that. But honestly, what it actually is, I don't know. I really don't know. Did SEC delay again? Delay again what? That's a rumor that they would come out with some regulation or something, but I think it wasn't confirmed. What is going on with Cybos? Cybos is same as well, but for Swift. What? Peter Conway. Michael, at what point do you possibly see the Shane Ellis theory kicking in, if that is how things will work? Honestly, I don't know, Peter Conway. What Raf and me and Shane Ellis, based basically on Shane Ellis' theory, pretty clearly confirmed. Our opinion is that it will take everyone by surprise. That's basically the only way how it can be fair. Yeah, Saha Sound, that's a problem I know from another dear follower. He has gotten into a really stupid situation. He lost his job and other private or personal issues, and if XRP doesn't moon soon, he might have to sell his house because he cannot pay the loan interest anymore. Really, really sad. Pledgic Matic, maybe. Richard, no, I don't think we need a higher price for proper use of MoneyGram. I rather think that it'll take some time for them to set up the XRapid instances across those corridors. They will be able to use it. And maybe, we don't know. I mean, we know officially of, I think, 5 preferred XRapid. I mean, actually it's 4, I think. Bitso, Coins, PH, and Bittrex and Bitstamp. I mean, even though everyone assumes SBI VC will be another preferred XRapid exchange, I mean, there is no confirmation on that. I mean, it's most likely or highly likely that SBI will be one. But I mean, basically, if that's going to work in other corridors, then we need many more preferred XRapid exchanges, and I'm pretty sure there are. In Brazil, example, there is an exchange where you can buy XRP, I think, in 4 or 5 different currency, like from Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Peru, maybe Venezuela. I don't remember. Richard, could you please talk a bit of your new source who talked about Jane Ellis? I think he said he was also in talk with Schwartz. Hope you know what I mean. Yes, I know what you mean, but basically, I gave out all the information. I tweeted about it. I put the link to the video where I received the comments, and those who are in all my live streams and pay attention, he even wrote it in the chat in the live stream, but I don't remember the name of this guy. What he basically wrote to me is in the chat and in the comments, I think in the comments of that video which I posted. I don't remember if it was the same video from live stream where he wrote that in the chat. What he basically wrote is that he received an email, I think, actually I don't remember how it was. I think it was like that he received an email from someone who knows a guy, Eckhard Moser or something like that, who happens to know, who has already spoken to David Schwartz, and that guy basically confirmed that Eckhard Moser or whatever his name was, basically confirmed the Shane Ellis theory, that it would take like a couple of huge transactions and the price will be high. But honestly, I don't know more. And I mean, could be fake, but honestly, the way he brought it over and the way he was kind of trying to get in contact with me, I have no reason to believe that it's a fake news or something. Butterfly Trader. Perhaps they use MoneyGram for testing XRapid if there won't be any problem. Big banks can start high. Maybe. I really don't know. Hi Vincent. I don't think we will see in 5 to 10 years $30, Vincent. I'm pretty sure we see that this year already. Going a Jackal, Swift doesn't do settlements at all. Unfortunately, I don't find that source anymore, but I think I even talked about it in a video of mine, but even that one I don't find anymore. I have so many videos. Anyway, there was a guy, an older guy, and I think it was in a video, but it was not on YouTube maybe, or most likely. That guy basically explained the current system. So the payment goes through the Swift system, and then they usually do a netting somehow via the CLS, I think it's called, banking group. It's like the top 60 banks in the world or so. They do a netting over all those payments coming in, which basically means they do not need to send money in both directions. They only send the net difference into the direction needed. Somehow it works like that, roughly. But it's very high level explained. Mark O, you missed the train. It'll need 15 minutes to get into a 3-digit area. We do not need weeks nor months. 15 minutes is enough. George, Michael, do you think that all that can be said has, and now it's just having to wait and see? Yes, exactly. I mean, crypto investor confounded by Ripple and XRP. No, I haven't seen that tweet. Can you retweet that tweet? Was it a tweet? Crypto investor. Can you maybe retweet that and tag me in the tweet? Okan Kardak, watch my video about the cost. Actually, I can put the link to the description of this video. Put link to cost cutting case video into the description. I made a video about that, where basically the core of that video is that I show that at $100 or even at $1,000 there will be enough money to pay out a lot, maybe not all. At $100 basically I think it'll be enough to pay out all XRP holders. At $1,000 I think about 10%, because it's 10 times higher. And then we would see, I think, about after 2 years or so, return on investment. And now your question was, and the reason why I'm referring that, so the core of that video is showing that even at high prices, the system would be way cheaper. But what I also show, and what you'll find in the description of that video, is a link to 2 PDFs. The vision of Ripple and the cost, I think it's called cost model. Ripple cost model or something like that. And there they basically show how much money a bank can save. They can save with XRP 30% roughly, with XRP high volatile, like basically what it's in the past 2 weeks or so, because before XRP was mostly quite stable. There was hardly any movement at all over weeks. But at high volatility, the banks could save 40%, so an additional 10%, and at low volatility 60%, so an additional 30% over just X current. And watch that video and check the numbers. The whole system costs, the whole current system costs yearly $1.6 trillion. Okay? Now if you go to the banks and tell them you can save 300 additional billions for those ones who using X current already. I mean, which bank wouldn't want that? I mean, if you go to UBS, the biggest bank in Switzerland, tell them, hey, if you use XRP, you can save an additional, I don't know, 4 billion. That'll kind of duplicate the yearly profit. I mean, they would surely not say no to that. And also, I mean, we all know RippleNet is doing atomic transactions. Either the money goes or it doesn't go. It cannot be that it's sent but it doesn't arrive. There is like zero error rate. Zero. Let that sink in. Zero error rate. Well, Tiki, they will use it. I'm pretty sure they will use it. I really don't know why they're waiting. XRP chance of a lifetime. I don't know when the SEC will rule that. Maybe they don't want to rule. Maybe they want to wait for the class action lawsuit against Ripple, where a court may have to decide. I really don't know, because that's the reason why Ripple wanted to have it on federal level, because then it would be on a federal level a decision that it's not a security. Whatever the SEC would tell. And I mean, I'm so far that I think not any news will bring something to the price. I mean, for 2 years now we have like almost daily news over news over news, and the price sucks. That's the pure facts. And thus I really don't believe that it'll change anything. Utility will change something, or an SBI with like massive amount of new retail investors will start buying. That will bring something. There I'm pretty sure we'll see the lower dollars, $1, $2, maybe $3 or something. Digital banking, I don't think that the ISO 222 is delayed and that this is a cause. Ripple, I've seen it. I think it was a tweet from a guy in my WhatsApp group even, because he didn't check the timestamp. I think it was even, I don't know, late 2017, like almost 2 years or longer before. there was a tweet, I think, from Susan Ethy, the woman who is sitting on the board of Ripple and who is professor at some university, and together with a student developed the math behind the XRP price calculator. And in that tweet, she basically told that ACH, the US or one of the US systems, was already connected in real-time payments at that time to the European SEPA system. And that's basically the core use case for Ripple. Ripple doesn't need to connect every bank with every bank. When they can connect SEPA, TIPS and Target 2, the European payment systems, to the, I don't know, 3 systems or 4 systems available in US, in Japan, and I mean, it'll need just a few integrations and it'll work. We don't need to see each bank on its own directly on RippleNet. That's something many people forget. It's really not needed. Butterfly Trader, I don't think that the liquidity crisis will... Maybe, I don't know, but I don't think so. XRP chance of a lifetime. No, I don't think there will be a new financial system. Definitely not one which is being called quantum financial system. I mean, basically we do not... Let's be a bit hypothetical. If this vision of this famous gray slide with ILP connecting all the payment systems worldwide and XRP in the center, if that's gonna get true in the next, I don't know, 5 years, then we basically have a new financial systems, because domestically the countries or currency regions like the euro area, they're doing quite well. It's just a problem for cross-border, and as long as they are somehow connected to each other, I really don't see a reason why we should have a new financial system. However, I have seen an interesting, well, at least half of it, docu. Unfortunately, it's in German. It's on the Arte channel from Europe. You can even watch it on YouTube. And it's a docu about BlackRock, explaining the power of BlackRock. That BlackRock has so many assets they manage that they basically can influence markets, which makes companies go out of market when BlackRock gets into the market, because they know that BlackRock basically can and most likely will manipulate with the sheer amount of money they bring value. And in that video they were also talking, I mean, BlackRock is not a bank. BlackRock is basically an, I don't know how it's called, an asset investment company or something. I don't know how the term is. They're not a bank, so they're not regulated. And then in that video they were basically bringing up the topic, are they anyway systemic important for the whole system? And that might be something which may change in the future, that there will be other, like, non-bank players playing a huge role. I mean, think of Apple, Amazon. They have huge amount of cash and I mean, or Visa and MasterCard, I mean, they basically also no banks. They're, I don't know how you call them, they're also not a remittance company, basically. I don't know under which law they're basically regulated, but could be, I mean, in this super most optimistic view of this ILP picture from Everest with XRP in the center, if it's coming to that, then it'll not matter anymore where you have your value stored, because you will be able to pay from any ledger you have your assets on. Be it, I don't know, it'll not matter anymore. Even if you receive a salary from your employer, you give them a payment pointer and that's it, and you manage your payment pointer. That could point to your bank account, could point to PayPal, could point to anywhere. That's the system where we're going to. So basically the only reasons why we also in the future will have banks is the credit business, because that will not go away. Privates and also institutions, they will always require credits, like, I don't know, is it called like that? In Germany it's Kredit. Like if they need to buy machinery and they don't have the cash, they need to lend money from a bank. And that's and for that purpose banks will not go away. That will be maybe, I don't know, in the future their only purpose, to actually lend money. But to store money you will have different options, way different options. Okay, let me continue with the questions. GPI and TAT going live, yeah, but I mean, don't put everything on that. I don't think. I mean, we know that many. I mean, even those 4 players, CGI, Task Group, Temenos, and Finastra, they could basically become like a router in the internet. So a payment from Swift rails is coming in, and because the software from those 4 knows not just Swift but knows, I don't know, let's say PayPal, Visa and the RippleNet, and they can put it out and forward it like with multi-hop to the RippleNet. I don't think, my current belief is Swift themselves will never be using XRP or RippleNet directly, but there's many workarounds. XRP chance of a lifetime. Well, I mean, what is a world reserve currency? That term is totally misleading, if you ask me. Basically, it should be called something like the world's common denominator or something. And so that you can basically compare prices. Could be that in 5 years from now, when you buy something on Amazon in another country, that you see it in the price of XRP, even though you may pay euro or Swiss francs or whatever. But in order to have like a baseline, could be that we will see. But on the other hand, as long as, I mean, that basically only makes sense if something is really stable. And for XRP to be really stable, like not move anymore, I think we will see 5 digits. Before that, there will be jumps. Michael Carroll, how many geeks talk about cryptocurrencies? I was recently talking to an IT guy at lunch over a different topic. I was kind of, he's the guy who drives the orchestra. I don't know in German, dirigent, the producer, I don't know how it's called in English. The guy with the stick in front of the you know what I mean. And I have been in a concert where he was doing that, where another guy who works with me was actually playing an instrument, and I then told him about the private plan I had started a few days ago to create some own music, even though I'm totally, my musical genes went lost when I was born, I don't know. Anyway, and then I told him, he asked me for what, and I told him for my YouTube channel. And then he asked me about what I'm doing YouTube videos, and I told him about cryptocurrencies. And then I told him, I did an elevator pitch. In like 2 minutes I explained to him how XRP works, and he said, oh, give me a break, I really have no clue. And that basically shows that, I mean, surely, like everyone watching on a regular level the news, the official Swiss news every day at 1930 will have heard end of 2017, I think in the same, almost every day they were talking about Bitcoin. So they know that there is something which is called cryptocurrency. But most, I have no clue, really. You're welcome, Michael. What do you think? Brexit will not have any effect on the crypto world as such. It will have an effect on the connecting rails for payment system, most likely. But as we all know, as long as they stick with Nostros, they can also use ILP or X current, and we will not even know about that. Hi, Raf, nice to see you. It's your daytime. Yes, Raf, literally everyone, there is almost 5,000 views on that video, which makes it top 10 easily. Steven, JPM coin ist kein Konkurrent, no. And I think David Schwartz explained that why JPM and any other stablecoin will not be a competitor, because they have a collateral risk behind it, and that's exactly what makes XRP so unique. It's not packed or backed or tied to anything. Forget about being tied to gold or whatever. It will never be tied, packed or backed to anything. It'll be a risk if that happens. XRP chance of a lifetime. I checked Hashgraph, but reading their information on their website, I not one fiber in my body screamed yes, that's the competitor. Crypto. Well, because it's not high value payment, that's the reason why we still see speculative price. As soon as we have a constant pull of, or push, however you want to call it, of high value payments, the price will have to be high and it will not go back down. It'll still have like I imagine once the price reaches $1,000 or so, I imagine the price of XRP fluctuating in the same realms as the dollar, the euro, or the Swiss francs fluctuate every day. So plus minus a percent or so per day, but not more. Yes, JC. I even think 4 digits. I always have to think butterfly how I have to say that 4 digits. XRP passionate. I stated that in past live streams. I don't think BACT will have any effect at all. I mean, basically, we have seen that with the Bitcoin price, it also dropped today, even though supposedly BACT was offering something which I didn't see confirmed, BTC as Bitcoin ETFs or futures or whatever. And even though ETFs do not necessarily need to be, I don't know if it's called backed in that sense, but usually there are two types of ETFs. I did a research on that. Those, I think the synthetic or I don't know how to pronounce that. Ones are the ones which are just a bet on something, that the Dow Jones goes up or down, but there is nothing behind it. And then there is the real ones for like Apple stock, but then the company issuing the ETF has to actually buy an appropriate amount of Apple stock to, I don't know, back it, or like the collateral. And most people assumed that when BACT will be going live, that would happen. Thank you, Butterfly Trader. Did I miss a question? I'm now at the bottom of the chat, or do you want me to? XRP chance of a lifetime. I'm not doing it for likes, also not for views. Obviously, I'm having a smile when I see, like on the video with Raf XRPs, that we have almost 5,000 views. That's something I really appreciate. I also appreciate having, since that interview with Raf, about almost 200 more subscribers. But eventually, honestly speaking, I prefer to have quality followers like you guys and have a look at the chat. We can really have a discussion in the chat here, everyone with everyone, and I can answer, and others who know a little bit can answer questions and stuff. If you're looking in a live stream of CKJ Crypto News or Alex Kopp, you literally cannot even read, because like 500 people are when moon. It's like only idiots are there, and as long as our community is smaller, I can basically dedicate time, at least I try to answer all questions in the comments so far. Raf helped me out, thanks Raf, quite a lot. He also answered some of the questions on the interview video I did with him, because there were quite some. I mean, most likely one of the videos I posted with the most comments so far. It was actually quite interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. What's your confidence level that we will see a significant XRP move up by a year end? In which measure do you want my I'm zero doubt. On German stock market there is, I don't think that you can buy XRP, but there was I don't know, when did they come live? Was it this year or last year? I think the Stuttgart Börse opened a crypto exchange. I think it's called Bison, if I'm not wrong. And there you can buy XRP for euro. I was on their mail, how is it called? Newsletter thingy, but I stopped it because you can only open an account if you're located in Germany. What's my biggest question? If I have any thoughts on it somehow not working, no, I literally have no. I mean, I'm David, and also who was the other guy? GeoXRP. You two are asking about basically my confidence level. I have been talking earlier in this live stream about the cost model from Ripple, this PDF, where they show that Xcurrent brings roughly 30% cost reduction, and XRP at the low volatile price an additional 30% cost reduction. Now the total cost of the current system of cross-border payments is 1.6 trillion. Let's assume all banks are already using Xcurrent. We don't know how many there are, but let's just assume. So they are doing 30% cost savings already. If you go to UBS is the biggest bank in Switzerland. I think they have a net profit of around 4 billion per year. I think. I may be off a little bit, but I think I checked that once. It's about 4 billion. And if you now take this 30% from this 1.6 trillion, that's, I don't know, 500, almost more than 500 billion. And if you divide that on those 11,000 banks, then the top 100 banks may receive from that pot of 500 billion cost reduction, maybe 400 billion. That'll make it like 4 billion for each of these top 100 banks. That would basically double the net profit of UBS year over year, not just once, year over year. Now tell me which CEO of a bank wouldn't want that? They don't care about the XRP price, they care about their cost, they care about their profit, about their stock price, and as long as they can improve that and reduce friction, they will do it. It's as simple as that. It's about the same. You're hungry in the morning, you don't have bread at home, and there is 2 bakery stores on your street. The one to the left sells you a croissant for $1, and the one to the right a croissant for $5. Which one will you go and buy? You will buy the one for $1 because you save $4. Okay? I mean, anyone will go for the cheaper thing, because you basically could buy 5 croissants for the same price. I hope I answered your question, Gio, XRP and David C. Kevin, hi Kevin. Nice to see you in my live stream. I'm all in XRP. Once in a while I'm being asked by some of my followers to look into other projects like WeChain, Link, Quant, and other stuff. And then usually I go and check out whatever information I can get for those other coins. But I tell you, and I was talking in that video with Raf about it, I literally do not see any. And that's why all my fibers call rich, I will be rich. I mean, XRP, when I read the information on the Ripple website, I knew, each fiber in my body knew, that's it. Everything else, I literally don't see why a coin would have a high value. Okay, there may be some coins, Iota, XLM, some of these other kind of fast coins, which may fill some niches somewhere. Casino coin for casinos, something like that. But a casino coin will be more or less a stable coin. Why would you pay more for a casino coin than if you go to the casino and pay for the real coin? I mean, it does literally make no sense. And all those smart contract platforms, I mean, how stupid can you be to invest in a smart contract blockchain, Ethereum, ADA, whatever else? R3 with Corda is basically offering a platform where you can build smart contracts which do not even require a token. Marco Polo and Voltron are such trade finance smart contract platforms. They don't use a token. Why would I need to pay for a token? I want the functionality behind it, but I'm not interested in the gas of the. When I buy a Ferrari, I don't buy the Ferrari because it drinks like 15 gallons of gas on 100 miles. I'm buying the Ferrari because it drives fast. Okay, I'll need to put in a lot of gas to drive it that fast. But I'm not buying it for the gas I'm using. I'm buying it for the fun I'm having. And that's what most people investing in Ethereum, ADA and other coins don't get. Stack in SERPs, you're totally correct. Cross-border payments will only be the first step. I mean, SBI has plans for security settlement, and for sure, once the system is established, the DTCC, as soon as it comes for cross-border security and futures and derivative settlement, it'll be XRP 2. Now I lost here. DVT, I have no clue what could get into the way. Clipboard, well, it'll rise as well, but it'll rise way lower. I'm actually trying to put out the video this week, and I wanted to do it last weekend already, but wasn't in the mood. Where I basically want to show how long it may take with a slow price increase, and then you can do your own math. Because for high value transactions we need 4 digits, that's a fact. Jorge Pacheco, I answered that already. I'm pretty sure we'll see a high price this year. I have no guess for end of this year. I think 4 digits it's possible if we see, and this is a big if we see high value transactions, and I'm pretty sure we're basically ready. So we could see that, and I tell you, it'll take 15 minutes to get into the 3-digit areas. Bloody Tuesday. Okay, last question, and then I will say goodbye for today. Anyway, I want to thank everyone. Today was quite some 123. That's, I think, almost a record. 123. That's like 5% of my followers. That's not too bad. So I really thank you guys. It was quite interesting today, interesting discussions. Thanks for the other ones who helped answering questions, like Richard. I know he always tries to answer questions from users when I am a bit slow in catching up. I thank you for your trust, for your confidence. Stay calm. Have faith, have trust in Ripple that they're doing the right thing. Every fiber in my body tells me XRP is the one. I literally have 0 doubt that everyone holding XRP will be happy in due time. And as there hasn't been an additional question coming up, I will say goodbye now. See you, the German speaking ones, maybe on Thursday, otherwise next Tuesday, my next English live stream.